After 2 weeks of work camping, we finally got paid. And in this video, we're breaking down exactly how much we made and how much we can save for Baja. Drum roll, please.
We made a combined total of...
If you're new here, we're Diego and Ash, and we live full-time in our RV, traveling around the country and working seasonal jobs along the way, trying to build a lifestyle that actually supports itself instead of draining our savings. And while we figure that out, we're also finishing up the installation of our Haloview backup camera.
So here we have the backup camera in action. Let's see how it goes. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like it.
Getting out to explore for a bit, and for the first time in a while, actually slowing down to enjoy some of our time off. Good morning. Man, unfortunately, it did not snow last night like we wanted it to, but it did dip below freezing, so Diego had to turn all the water off, which is not ideal for me ever. But we want to get to what y'all really want to know today, and that's, is work camping actually worth it, and how much did we make this week? Diego is determined to make a hiker out of me. We are going on some kind of hike today, but first we stopped at the Jackson Lodge over here, like an hour into the Tetons it felt like. Something tells me we'll be stopping there a lot more, you know, throughout our whole summer here, but I really don't know what we're doing today. I just know we're going on a hike. I know I got my water vest.
It won't be too bad. This is Christian Pond Trail. It's 3.5 miles with 206 feet of elevation. So it's not gonna be as bad as last time.
Yeah,
and
that's
there's
what...
like cute horses right over there.
All right, the moment you've been waiting for. Drum roll, please.
We made a combined total of $402.
Which is kind of sad.
It's not sad. It's not sad. We knew getting here early meant that we would be on a part-time schedule. So really, we worked 3 days and only had, what, 6 hours worth of work
each day, yeah. Sorry, we're jumping all over the place, but plus, we came in during the pay period, so we only got 1 week of work.
So we've worked 2 weeks, but only got paid for 1. The second week we worked is in next week's paycheck. So yeah, we kind of already knew this was going to be a little bit low, but we want to keep you guys informed as to the realities of what it's like to camp host and what you're going to make.
Even though we didn't make that much money, we are still setting aside $40 in our Baja fund. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to watch the video below because it tells you all about how we are saving up $10,000 so we can winter in Baja.
We also know that camp hosting is not the moneymaker for us.
That's what the Beet Harvest is for. Camp hosting is that so we can be in a beautiful, wonderful location, all while paying $0 in rent.
Now, in case you were wondering, we didn't choose to do anything short term, for example, like gate guarding during the summer, because all of the gate guarding opportunities we did look into were going to be throughout Southeast Texas or throughout most of the southern states. The combination of camp hosting and the Beet Harvest in the fall, I think, is setting us up for complete success. Bear!
That sounds so good. If you didn't know, when you're in bear country, you always gotta, well, A, carry bear spray, but B, make a lot of noise when you're on a trail, just so if a bear's around, they hopefully get scared and kind of don't come around you. So we like to yodel or sing or just have loud conversations. And as a reminder, we started way over there. Uh-oh, trail down.
Wow.
Go that way. I think we should go this way, right?
Yeah, we just go around. Come on.
I don't know. You know I don't like being off trail.
Just for a split second.
What if this is where the bobcat's at?
Oh, could be.
You know, you get off trail once and they know.
You pick up your scent.
Exactly.
They start hunting you down.
I feel like being on trail is the equivalent to like hiding under your covers. Like if you're under your covers, the monsters can't get you. Well, if you're on the trail, animals can't get you, right? Anybody else? Just me?
I think that was just you.
Woo! That hike was definitely more my speed. It was only about 3 miles and there was a lot of like little ups and downs, which I feel is good, like for a good little workout. It wasn't too crazy, so A+ for Diego for picking that hike.
You're so funny, man. Okay, we are obviously taking all of our gear off. Fresh spray can go away now. And headed back to the campground, we're gonna grill up some dogs, some hot dogs. We're gonna have our friends over. We're gonna enjoy the rest of this evening around a little fire. It's gonna be great. Typically, this is more Ashland's wheelhouse, but recently I picked up something that's more for the ambiance of camping than anything else. So I wouldn't say it's a necessity, but I'm really excited for it. We picked up the Ogery Tabletop Fire Pit. Given that we're gonna be here all summer, I wanted something that was gonna elevate the experience, and this super lightweight, portable tabletop fire pit was kind of the best thing I could find. It's stainless steel, so it looks really good. You're gonna wanna use a fire starter to get this thing going. They do not come included. So if you decide to pick one up from our Amazon storefront, just make sure you pick one of those up as well. Now that it's ready to go, when you do go to start it, make sure nothing is hanging over the top. Okay, love, what do you think?
Oh my God, it's so cute. This elevates our camping so much. Oh my goodness, look how cute. Oh, it's the perfect size.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Thanks, baby.
Of course, yeah. I knew you would like it. It's such a nice, it looks so good.
It does.
Yeah. And it brings the space out here together. Like, I know we have a large fire pit, but this is cool for the tabletop.
Yeah, if we're all just sitting here eating, having a good time.
Yeah, like when we're having dinner tonight, we're all just gonna be hanging out, chatting over this. Oh, great.
So cute. Thanks, baby.
Yeah.
Our friends are almost here, so I gotta get all the stuff ready. We're making hot dogs. We got all the toppings. Someone's bringing beer and s'mores. Here you go, baby.
Oh, thank you, my love.
Of course, baby.
Okay, so I think we'll set up the getting ready, things ready over here, and then I'll move the grill over there because of how bad the wind was.
Okay, yeah, I like it. Let's do it. Say hello to your fans, Mr. Carter. He's got his cute little sweater on. Look at everyone, Mr. Carter. Come here. We got our nice fire pit.
Oh yeah.
There's a grill. Firing this baby up for the first time this season. I don't know if you guys can tell, but we are really in a lot of clothing because it's freezing today. So we're having a good old fire pit night. Perfect. Yes, the Coors banquets, yes. Oh, interesting. Side horizontal?
Yeah. You want the lines on it, don't you?
Fully open.
I don't know.
I'm not closing that. It's just salt. They're so good.
Yeah.
Those were like perfect level of crispy.
Those were the cheapest ones.
Like we mentioned last week, we have finally received that new mount for our Haloview, so I'm gonna be installing that right now. Ash is editing.
Hey guys, wish I could help. No, I don't.
Okay, let's get started. I have everything ready to go. The perks of working at a campground is I have access to a ladder, so this should in theory be a lot easier than hanging over the roof, but we'll see. Okay, so I have the old Furrion unit out, and I'm gonna put all three mounts together so you guys can kind of see and get a better idea of what I meant when this one did fit, the other Haloview mount did not fit, and the new one should fit. The BF04 mounting bracket did not work. Well, it didn't work right away. So what I ended up having to do was I have rounded running lights, and I ended up having to move the middle one up ever so slightly to get the bracket to work. So it does fit now, and its intended purpose is to mimic the Furrion mounting bracket a little bit better. The Furrion bracket is rounded at the top, and if you can tell, this one, so this is the Furrion, this is the other one, it's a little bit taller, just by a millimeter I think, but it's like enough to throw it off. So now the BF04 bracket does work, but if you have rounded running lights in the back of your travel trailer, if you have a micro light, a mini light, or any other travel trailer fifth wheel like this with those rounded running lights, I would suggest looking into a different option. I'm going to show it here on the screen for you guys. I don't know the name of it right this second, but I'll show it with the name of it displayed from their website, and go from there. Okay guys, so I know I mentioned caulking earlier. Let me show you what I mean. I moved these holes up, right, for the top oval light. So I went ahead and caulked over that to make sure I have no water intrusion. These holes would have lined up, but they're too big for the screws that they sent. So I'm going to caulk over them and lay the rubber gasket that the camera mount provides over it, so that'll prevent any water intrusion there, and I'm going to drill new holes for that. Okay guys, the camera is in. I'm going to back up the truck, connect the 7-way pin connector, and see if it's working, that I can see everything. I'm not going to take it on a test drive. You guys have already seen how well Haloview performs doing that. I do want to see the backup camera and all that good jazz. Make sure it's connected properly. Right there. Backup camera is fully linked to the Haloview monitor. Something about the monitor that I would like to share is I'm starting not to like the suction cup. Every third day it falls. So either I need to clean my windshield, or I might make the switch over to a 3M mount that I didn't want originally. I know I said I wasn't gonna test drive it, and I guess technically this doesn't count as a drive. We are gonna hook up the trailer and we are gonna reposition it in our site. Something I absolutely have been hating is our slides are directly over both of our dump, like both of our valves to dump. I don't really like having two gray tanks, by the way, but hey, whatever. So if you can tell, I have to crawl on the gravel kinda to get to each one of them. So we're gonna fix that and in turn get to see the backup camera in action. Ashlyn hates when I make us do stuff like this, but we're hooked up, we're gonna move it, and like I said, get the chance to view the backup camera in action. What's wrong?
I got things to do today.
Like what?
I got cooking for the week.
Cooking? What you gonna cook?
Chicken salad.
Oh, she does a really good chicken salad, guys. I love it. Okay, get out of the seat. So here we have the backup camera in action. Let's see how it goes. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like it. The rig looks way better now, but before we unhook, let's try the stairs.
Yeah, that's fine. Right there.
What do you think? You happy with that?
That's fine.
Okay.
No biggie. Keep the table on the rocks over there.
Yeah, I think that would be best.
Yeah, I think it looks great.
Yeah.
I like it.
Thank you, baby. Haloview sent me a dash cam because they're like, hey, so sorry for the mix up. Let's get you something that you're gonna enjoy. I've been really happy with everything so far. I'm gonna set this thing up. Something tells me though that I'm gonna have to do better wire management because Ash really didn't like the wires being exposed last time, and she's definitely not gonna like them now. Before I fully install the dash cam, I wanna show you guys how to sync it. So, like I said, I'm going to, it says no signal there. I'm gonna hit the sync button. So I went ahead and hit the sync button on the monitor, and this is the dash cam right here. It's got this really tiny button at the bottom. Hit that, you'll hear a click. Perfect. There it is. Perfect. Oh, and it has audio too, cool. So I have figured out the wire management, and I even got Ashlyn's approval, so we're good. We only have to like 3M adhesive the dash cam to the mirror, but let me show you what I did. So right here, I pulled this sucker out and I drilled a little hole to feed the cable through right there.
You've been drilling a lot of holes in our car.
Yeah. That cable now runs back here, comes up top through here, and provides power to everything. So I'm going to be putting the camera there. A little bit more cable exposure than I thought, but
at least they're not very long. Like, it's just a short amount of cable exposed. Like the last one was like cascading over the whole dash. This is a lot better than the last time.
Okay, you heard it, folks. I'm a genius. So this is pretty neat. They give you this static sticker. This sticks to your window, and then the 3M goes on top of this, so that later if you need to remove it, it's actually rather easy instead of having to fight getting the 3M adhesive off of your window and possibly cracking it. No, all you do is take this guy off, and that's where you mount your dash cam. Like I said, a little bit more cables than I'd like. I might figure something else out later, but for now it's pretty much all said and done. All right, I'm gonna go put away this little ladder that I've been using from the campsite. Another reason I really liked the idea of installing this dash cam from Haloview is obviously all one system, but there is a slot in the monitor to insert an SD card, a micro SD card to be exact, and it will record and save everything up to, I believe it's 60 days, guys. Don't quote me on that. I could very much be wrong. I will find out and put all the correct information on screen for you though. Okay, well, it is getting pretty cold here. It is May 16th and there is snow. Possibility of snow for tomorrow.
50% chance.
Yeah.
Not a possibility, a 50% chance.
So maybe we hit up the Grand Teton National Park again and get some snow action going.
Get some snow.
Sometimes RV life just ain't done with you for the day. I went to go wash some dishes and I noticed that there was a little puddle just behind the cabinet door where this sits. So I'm draining it. I was able to spot a small leak coming from one of the lines that was crimped by the factory. So I'm just gonna replace a crimp yet again. So the leak I spotted is coming from this guy right here. This is again an original crimp from factory. Not sure why it's leaking. It is what it is. I can't seem to find my crimp cutter, so I'm gonna use a flathead, see how that goes. Okay, I switched to using my pocket knife. Hopefully this doesn't cut me. Okay, bad news. I messed up. The knife slipped and it cut the hose. So now all that's left to do is to use my multi-tool to cut the ring off, and I'll cut the hose and I'll re-crimp it. Okay, so here's what I got. I put the camera down because I found a couple more crimps that were leaking. It, again, all seems to be crimps that were existing from factory, wherever this thing came from. Nothing to do with the Fagati water heater, but replaced that crimp. I had already replaced the crimp behind it, so that crimp's been replaced. This crimp has been replaced, and now this crimp has been replaced. So 3 factory installed crimps. If you do any research on this, you know that these little plastic, so this style braided hose, a lot of the times the fittings aren't the correct fittings, meaning the crimp itself isn't the right one. A while back ago, I started following this RV guy, an RV repair guy, and he said to use these Ogery 18.5s. I will link these. I've used them before in the description, but I will also link his video to the repairs and what he pointed out is an issue with these braided lines from factory. But I'm gonna pressure test everything right now, and if it holds, then I'm good to go. If not, I'm gonna rip my hair out. Okay guys, I am done officially for today. If there's any advice I could give you, if you're considering RV life, do some research. Not only on what kind of rig you want, layout, what it has, but common fail points. To be honest, I think that by the end of the time that we're done owning this RV, which I think we'll probably have it for a while. I think we'll have it for a while. We will have probably replaced every single crimp. Like, that's exactly what I thought would happen. And thankfully I did the research. I expected it. I knew what to do and how to handle it. There is fresh snow on the mountains, guys. Let me say that again. It is May 18th and there is fresh snow on the mountains. Nothing down here, nothing stuck. It's probably because the temperature down here was about 34 degrees. That's okay. I did wake up, unfortunately, to yet another leaking crimp. So I'm gonna tackle that off camera because this is where I leave you. The next 2 videos, guys, are some serious boondocking upgrades before we take on boondocking here in the Greater Teton National Park area. So I will see you later. Bye, wannabes. Oh, snow in May, baby.